What is up, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining us here today as we recap the most recent two episodes of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I am Jaime, and of course, you guys know Danny. Danny, hello, hello. We were just doing the Traders recap, but we didn't get a chance really to recap together in a minute. I think the last time was probably Beverly. Was it? Have we done Beverly Hills yet?
Not together this
Not
season.
together. Well,
I
it's
think the
good to
last time
see.
we were together was the lean.
Well, hello, hello. How are you doing?
Hey, I am good. I can't see you. I only
I
see
was about
myself
to
on the
say,
screen.
what do we got going on? Chase, help. What am I doing?
Might be the layout.
I don't know. My goodness. Guys, I'm so sorry. As you can see, Danny and I are working through some things.
Well, I mean, hey, if we don't see each other, we don't see each other. At least we can hear each other. They can see us. Let me go see what it looks like on the YouTube. Oh, yeah, on the YouTube, it's just me showing. They can't even see you. How's everyone doing on this nice Saturday morning? I think Jamie may have left the chat. He should be coming back.
Okay, so I'm back on stage. You
Okay.
can hear
Yeah,
me.
I'm looking in. I can hear you. I'm looking at the YouTube feed and it's only showing me. It's not showing you.
Okay.
There we go. I'm so glad our host,
My
our own,
goodness.
the boss and CEO
Look.
joined in the fix.
So let's try this again. Let's rewind. Hi, everybody. Thank you
Hi.
so much for joining us today. As you can see, we are not either Chase, neither myself nor Danny are Chase. Chase is recovering from a medical procedure. I believe he told you guys he was having some issues with his eyes. He's getting that fixed, but right now he's looking a little bit like a pirate. So he has chosen to decline to be on camera today. But you get us, and as you can see so far, it's going great. These first 3 minutes are just we're doing a bang up job. Danny, hi. How are you surviving over there in Houston? We are currently under Ice Apocalypse 2026. Uh,
I
how
mean,
are
it's
you
winter. I
doing?
mean, it's winter.
It's
So
winter.
it's cold here. We're supposed to. Nothing's really supposed to happen. I think you guys are gonna get it worse than us.
Yeah,
'Cause I think
it's right
it's
now. It's
supposed to be
like
icy
20.
roads tonight. It's like 40
Yeah,
here, but we're supposed to be like it's the that black ice supposed to develop overnight for us.
yeah. So I've got every single faucet in here dripping. I've got my heater on. I've got copious amounts of wine, liquor, and booze,
I'm
just
gonna
in
go to
case things go
HEB in a
south.
second and stock up a little bit more on some snacks because I my survival kit I ate it last night, so my snacks and stuff. So
I ate half a bag of Doritos while I was watching Traders last night, and I was like, "Damn, these are supposed to be for this weekend."
yeah,
Didn't work out the way that I needed it to, but we're here. Like we were saying, Danny, you and I have not done a recap in a minute. So I'm very, very excited to have you back. For everybody that is in the chat right now, thank you guys. We've got about 10 people that are viewing. Thank you very much. As always, like and subscribe to Chase's channel. You know, this man is the hardest working man in podcasting right now. He works tirelessly around the clock to bring you guys content. And because of that, Chase let me know that No Chaser TV uh, was nominated for a Starry Award for most consistent YouTube channel. He is telling me that there is an image already uploaded. Uh, so let me see if I can actually. Chase is still in the back. Chase, would you like to add that image on there? Because I'm scared to touch anything on your channel.
you know that
But
man can't see.
so the podcast that was nominated is or what, like Erica Jane, and I think that this is absolutely well deserved. Chase works. If you follow his channel, you know that there are weeks that he puts out 3 or 4 reviews in a week, each of them an hour long. Some of them he does live, some of them he does pre-tape, in addition to holding down a full-time job. So I
Yeah,
get exhausted hopping in.
I do want to say, aside from his consistency, us as his friends always talking to him behind the scenes. If you guys only knew the passion that he has for this,
And it's a long
so
time coming.
yeah,
Chase has
it's
been
well
working
deserved.
and working. So if you guys have a couple of moments, please, please, please visit the Starry Awards. I believe he has the website here. It's just the starryawards.com. And you can see the name that's up there in the screenshot. Go there and give him a vote. As always, we appreciate all of your support. Obviously, you guys have been following us since the lean. I know that we've talked about it before, but the lean is on a little bit of a hiatus. I believe the last season that we were at, which was 2024, it wore us out, y'all. We were reviewing any and everything. Chase was right there doing it and simultaneously launching No Chaser TV. So while the rest of us have been privy to take some much needed rest and relaxation,
Chase
Chase has
didn't.
opted not to. So, Chase, we love you. Congratulations. Y'all go and show him some love. And, of course, like and subscribe to what we've got going on today. So, Danny and I were talking a little bit before we got here on the show. Danny, before we get into recapping, what are your thoughts on this season so far?
I mean, I've heard
Two,
of a
three
slow.
words.
Can I get 4? Or
You can give 4. I'm surprised you
it's
have
4 or
that.
5. I could have had a B8.
This could have been an email.
It's just a slow burn. I mean, I've heard of a slow burn, so I'm hoping that the second half gives more. Um, from some of the stuff we've heard, I think it will. It's just, it's a really slow burn. Normally with Beverly Hills, we're on what, like episode 6, and it's like 5 of the 6 have been filler episodes to me.
Yeah. It's
But
never a good sign when the season starts off with
but I'm
like,
entertained a
oh,
little bit. Like I'm not bored. It's just not what I was expecting.
the friends of and the new girl, Rachel Zoe, is pretty much giving the season. Without them, we wouldn't have anything.
I mean,
In my
it's if
opinion.
when Jennifer Tilly has to work, something's going on.
Look, and you can tell Tilly is non-confrontational. She's just there to have a good ass time. And when she's having to be like, well, I don't know what this episode's gonna be, so I'm gonna have to do something. Like, my
That's a
God. So,
problem.
and I'm sure we're gonna get into that a little bit more as we recap the 2. So, Danny and I have a hard out in about an hour and 15. So we're gonna plow through. Lucky for us, not a lot has happened that we need to recap, but we're gonna do it justice and at least give you guys the meat and potatoes of it. So, episode 5, we're recapping 2 episodes. Episode 5 was the Sedona trip. I feel like this kind of came really, really quickly. I didn't even normally or not quickly. It came a little bit late. Normally we get some kind of getaway in about the 3rd episode or so, just to kind of jumpstart the season. And so it was weird that we're 5 episodes into it, and they're just making a trip. Sutton decided that she wants this as kind of like a healing weekend. We said at the end of last season this was going to be a Sutton gang up season, and nobody's gaining or upping on this lady. She is actually in a full apology tour. She's in her healing era. She is trying to make amends. And she's gotten rid of her name. She's gotten rid of Garcelle. And I really can't stand her after the way she ended last season. Jennifer Tilly is sticking beside her, but even though we've seen in these 5 episodes, it looks like she wants to cuss her out at any moment. They're in Sedona. They're hiking. Some of them are shopping. Kathy Hilton doesn't want to do any of it. Bose, Rachel, and Dorit go day drinking. This is how I knew this season really didn't have any content. When we spent 5 minutes at an antique shop of them just looking at random shit. I was like, why are we at an antique shop with Bose looking at a kaleidoscope? Like, what are we doing?
And being excited by the kaleidoscope.
Yeah, and I was like, at this point, bring back Crystal, because like
For
I
what?
enjoy, like y'all said she was boring, but like there are 5 bitches on the cast right now that are absolutely boring. Like just
I
so I
know
can bring them.
she'd be the Ambien to Whatever they're already taking. No, no, thank
You're
you.
like, this is, at least when trips got boring, Crystal was like, oh my God, my blood pressure dropping and I think I'm going to die. So, like, okay, you get a little bit of excitement, but I think that she would probably be the only one that is holding Sutton accountable for the way shit went down last year. And I'm just really, really upset that everybody is acting like last season didn't, and I'm annoyed by it. And somehow even Rachel Zoe, who is really the only reason that I tuned in this season, as entertaining as she is, can't say what has been going on so far. It feels like Rachel is doing the Rachel Zoe project, and at this point, I'm just like, bring that back. Like,
Yeah.
I would watch that. Um, I don't know. They're Tilly, Kyle, Sutton, Erica. They're all hiking, and it's 1.5 miles. Tilly won't shut the fuck up. Tilly is neat, honestly, and I think that you will agree with that. She's endearing, but I can finally see what some people are like. I mean, maybe not continue talking.
Yeah, because Teddy don't. Well, and we'll get. Well, I'll wait till we get there. But I have more to say on why she finally.
Yeah. Um, they get to the top. Tilly is dead last. Erica isn't impressed, and actually, Erica's winning me back because she was like, okay, this is supposed to be transformative. We're supposed to get a high or something. I would much rather just do shrooms. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's supposed to
okay.
be transformative. I would have just been tired because
Like
I would have
Tilly
been
was.
I would have been Kathy.
You wouldn't have gone. Send me the
I'd have been at the
recap.
bar.
But I thought it was so funny that Tilly was huffing and puffing the whole way. It looked like she was going to throw up, and she still would not stop talking at the top of that mountain. So we get there. Kyle is talking about her second favorite subject. First being Mauricio and how much their marriage didn't work out. Second being how much Dorit hates her. She's complaining to Erica that Dorit is still mad that Kyle would much rather munch PK's box than hers and is taking his side in everything divorce related. Simultaneously, Dorit is complaining about the exact same thing on the flip side to Bose and Rachel, that Kyle hates her and is taking PK's side over everything in the divorce. But somehow they're both in agreement that Dorit has every right to feel like Kyle doesn't have her back. And I actually thought that was kind of interesting because we're seeing these dynamics a little bit. That Rachel, though, is much closer to Kathy Hilton than she is to Kyle, which I find that funny that almost every person that has come on the show likes Kathy more than Kyle. And I actually am like, yes, let's explore this a little bit.
I think that to me, that's because Kyle is outwardly not likable, and I feel like Kathy puts on a front. Feel like Kathy is just like Kyle though behind the scenes, and I think that
Maybe more.
if not more, yeah. So I think it's because outwardly Kathy puts on this image, but Kyle is kind of like Kyle puts out an image too,
Yeah.
but it's just the wrong one.
I think Kathy being married into the Hiltons got media training very, very, very early on about protecting that brand. And she's now been with Rick Hilton, what, 40 years? So, like, man, she's a Hilton. Like, we conduct ourselves
Yeah,
a certain way. I also think Kathy, we've talked about how Kyle is a producer and works meticulously to control the narrative. And I think on the flip side, Kathy works meticulously to show the business of Kathy Hilton, the personality of Kathy Hilton. Nothing that
yeah,
you
the
see with Kathy,
personality.
exactly. Nothing you see with Kathy is reality. And I think that
No.
that's where we see Kyle get frustrated with her. But then at the flip side, it's like, but people like her. Maybe you
I
should.
think the first season Kathy was on those little quirks that we all loved, and I think those were genuine when they happened.
Yeah,
Um, and then I think she saw or her team saw how much the viewers liked that, so it went in overdrive to continue to try to make those moments
yeah.
happen, which
And I
it
think it's
became
easy for her to do
ingenuous.
that. Yeah, it's easy for her to do that because she's a friend. And I think that she's very happy being a friend of. I don't have
Hmm.
to do anything. I show up, I make my little jokes, I may like respond to some drama, and then I go home. Like I
Yep.
don't need to display anything.
Hmm.
Um, I think that Beverly Hills, however, in the last couple of seasons is really starting to work like Miami and the fact that the friend, and even Potomac, the past 2 seasons where the friends are really a driving force behind a lot of things and have gotten a lot of camera time, sometimes the same amount as the main cast.
Yep.
Kyle is informing Erica that she took a FaceTime call. Or no, I'm sorry. Kyle and Erica are on a FaceTime call, and she said that PK told him that Dorit is blocking opportunities for him to see his children, which is a stark contrast to Dorit telling everybody that PK really has no desire to see his children. Amanda is telling Kyle that she has a friend who had a friend who had a cousin who was at dinner and ran into Avi. And Avi took the opportunity to say, have Amanda call me because I've got dirt on Sutton and I can't wait to tell the whole story. And Kyle kind of lights up. I think Kyle is the only one that is waiting to really stick it to Sutton.
Yep.
She carries a grudge. We know that. But she kind of like wills it and she's like, oh no, Sutton has to know about this. Like, you just have to tell her. And I'm like, see, that's why people don't like your ass. When I heard this, I thought it was interesting. One, that Avi would know that the friend that was eating knew Amanda. And in my mind, I was like, was it you, Amanda? Were you the friend? Were you the friend sitting down eating that was talking to Avi? So something
I
about
feel
this
like
just
that
feels
was the
weird.
only that makes more sense because I'm like, if Avi wanted to dish dirt on Sutton, he could DM Kyle directly, and Kyle would take that tea running, and it would
Yeah,
be more believable because it's like they know each other.
yep,
It would have been more believable. So that, and as it said in the most recent episode, Amanda is very calculating. Everything, nothing she does is spontaneous. Everything is methodically planned out. So she definitely had an intent with this.
absolutely. And we see that as we close out the episode. They are cooking their dinner after everybody had their own excursions. They're cooking dinner at like 11 p.m. Maybe at this time, leave me alone. I'm not eating. No, I've already ordered something. I'm in bed, which I
I'm like
actually thought
Kenny ordering crab cakes while Candy,
absolutely
them
and
just
can be
go
mad.
hungry. Yeah.
It was a really weird thing, but I know production was like, no, bitch, we're not done. We got absolutely nothing today, and we're not wasting a day of filming. So y'all can get y'all asses in that kitchen and cook. I actually thought it was really funny because production had everything there, the whole cast sitting around cooking, and I'm like, none of these women actually cook. Like, I don't see a single black or brown help around to do anything. The read looks lost. Nobody knows what's going on.
Well, when the
And then
chicken was
Tilly,
done, they still didn't cook because that chicken was raw.
it, that was something. And Tilly even climbed in. She's like, "Bitch, we are rich ladies. Like, why are we cooking ourselves?" And I'm like, "Thank you. At least somebody's keeping it real. Like, y'all don't cook your own meals." Dorit is super, or excuse me, Sutton is super late. And Amanda just will not stop talking about how late that she is. Sutton finally strolls in like 30, 40 minutes later. And honestly, she really doesn't care. There's no apologies. She comes in with bows. And they just like, all right, bitch, like, what do you want to do? We're going to cook this chicken. After everything, they settle on the patio. And before anybody can even finish a glass of wine, Amanda's like, Sutton, there's something I really have to tell you. It's been weighing on my heart, and the spirit's telling me I got to bring it to you. And so she tells that Avi is threatening to release some dirt on it. And I thought that Sutton was going to react. And Sutton just looks at her and is like, oh, really? Okay, well, that's too bad. And you could see on Amanda's face that she wasn't expecting a non reaction. And she was like, oh, was I not supposed to say this? I'm so sorry. I just really
That
wanted to tell
pissed
you
me
your friend
off.
is talking shit. I would want to know if my friend was talking shit about me.
This is where I get annoyed with them because I would be like, okay, yeah, I get it. You may not wanted to hear it. I really just said it because Kyle told me that you really should know. That's what I would have said right then and there.
She keeps putting it, and Sutton's like,
Kyle
look,
is not a
like,
friend to Amanda, as we see in this new episode too.
absolute, like, nobody is. Poor thing. She almost has me feeling this much sorry for her. Sutton says, baby, it doesn't concern me anymore, so therefore I don't care anymore. Jennifer Tilly is in a confessional and says that she has spoken to Avi since then. And she felt like her and Avi both thought that this little split was going to be short term. Um, and temporary. And so the fact that it has gone on this long has actually surprised Jennifer and Avi both. So if this is true, it gives kind of a little bit more like Avi is lashing out, or maybe feelings are hurt. But we've seen how Sutton leaves other friends high and dry whenever she feels like she doesn't want to talk to them anymore. So
The fact that Sutton doesn't want to talk about it makes me feel that she was in the wrong.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, we said this when we were recapping last season and news broke that they had parted ways during the reunion. We said
Hmm.
Sutton doesn't take accountability as much as she's trying to convince people this season that she does. However,
But if she thinks she's right, she will talk about it.
oh, absolutely. I've never seen her shut down the conversation when she feels like she's right.
And he knows too many of her secrets. So I don't know. Maybe even if she was right, she probably is careful not to talk about him because he knows too much.
Yeah, I will give her that she's no longer a crash out as much.
So
So good
far.
job so far. The ladies move inside. They sit down to eat. Surprisingly, Dorit and Sutton stay in the kitchen and have a conversation. And Dorit seems to really have Sutton's back. She was like, "You do not have to react to this. You don't have to react to things that you don't want." And Sutton, like a good Southern white lady, was like, "Last year was a bad year for me, and I declare this year I'm going to be better. I'm working on myself. No longer
You
let
sound
people
like her
bring me
mom.
down." With no racial slurs in there. She said she was very angry last year. She did not like who she was. And then I was like, well, this is really interesting that all you had to do was stab the black lady in the back, and all of a sudden you're on a journey of healing, and everything is as good
And
as
the
new.
brown man and the brown
And the
assistant.
brown man. Dorit seems to love her now when Dorit literally wanted to stab her in the face last season. And I was like, I'm doing the
And I
man.
don't think Dorit loves her. I think Dorit is being just as calculated because I think Dorit knows she's going to be getting into it with Amanda. So she sees an opportunity there to have somebody, on her side who's going to fight with Amanda too. I think Dorit is just using Sutton to, it's going to be easier not to fight with Sutton and Amanda
Which I
and
agree,
PK
but then
and
it also,
Kyle.
yeah, yeah, which I agree, but it's also annoying because we left this season last year with really nobody on anybody's side, and they come back this year and it's like nothing happened. We're good. We're
Only
good.
one who hasn't really changed her view of Sutton is Bose.
Yeah, but
She's the
also
only one not
both.
pretending.
Yeah, but she was also kind of ambivalent. She was just kind of like,
That's what
man,
I'm
I've
saying.
never. Yeah,
She's still that way. She still lets her have it in confessionals when she needs to, and
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. She's the only one who didn't change her tune. She's not swayed by the new Sutton.
and it's almost like Sutton and Bose didn't have a lot of time last year after Sutton introduced her to the group. And the only time they really interacted was on behalf of Dorit. So I was actually surprised that Bose and her really had not. I think they had one scene together where they went to lunch or something. But I was like, I thought you guys were friends. Like you brought her into the group,
We know how that
like, or at
works
least acquaintances. Like we know how housewives work. So it's really interesting that they literally have not engaged with each other
at
at
all.
all, at all. Um, so the next day, they're ending the. Let me see. Amanda's telling Sutton or Erica that Sutton shoot her out after the dinner before everybody was going to bed. Jennifer told Sutton first thing in the morning that Amanda was talking shit about her. Rachel and Erica are talking about how they're not sleeping. Rachel is trying to be less controlling because we saw in the Rachel Zoe project, Rachel was absolutely a type A personality. And I can see that she's kind of mellowed out a bit. Still very much Rachel Zoe. But she mentions that she's trying to find a new man. She has a 30-point list. And in the middle of her saying that story, Amanda hops in. I made a list. I have a list and I manifested it. Everything on my
I made it
list
when
came
I was
true with my husband.
13.
I mean, right? And it's so hilarious seeing Erica and Rachel's face just at her like, wow,
I
that's
wanted to
nice.
say something too while we talked about like I will say that how they get annoyed with Amanda when she's like pointing out how much she paid for something or her jewelry, stuff like that. It's interesting to me that you can tell it's because they don't like her because Jennifer Tilly does the exact same thing, if
Mhm.
not more than Amanda does. So it's just that
Yeah.
they do not like Amanda.
Yeah. I think there's a differential between the two. Like Jennifer walks in and somebody said, I love your jacket. She's like, oh my God, I miss
Not
it.
at the
Oh
airport
no.
that time when she started
That's
pulling out the
true.
stuff showing her.
That's
Just
true. But I think with Amanda never talks about it unless somebody else is talking about something they have. And I think that somebody mentions it later on. She's like, is she one upping again? Are we doing that? She's one upping. And I
yeah.
think that gets annoying because it's like, we
They
all
also
got
just don't
nights up.
like her.
Yeah, talk about it, but bitch, you annoying. And we do not like you. But they cannot hide it on their face. Erica especially. Erica's disgusting with her. As we see immediately after this, they're in the car and Amanda is taking a work call and will not shut up. And Erica's rolling her eyes. And in her confessional, she was like, girl, um, we all got businesses. Like, okay, you can hang the phone up. We do not need
Erica
to do
don't.
this. And poor Erica. Um, I know that Erica has the capability to really tear this lady apart, and she is doing everything in her power not to just snap and chew her out. But I'm like, all right, if we bring that Erica back, you may get on the good side a little bit again. I'm actually enjoying Erica a little bit this season. She is
That lets me know
definitely.
the season is bad because me too.
But you know what? After Erica has spent 4 seasons being the wicked bitch of the East, she has gone back to her first 2 seasons, Erica, of just like kind of laying in the back, serving fashion, giving little, one-liners and stuff, and like not getting engaged with anybody. And so I'm like, okay, I find that I like you more when you don't speak. So keep
She's
that.
tolerable to me now. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
give her.
Okay. Fast forward. They're at a big dinner. Amanda decides that she wants to bring up this obvious situation with Sutton yet again. And she was like, hey, I got a feeling that, you might be mad at me because the way you spoke to me this morning about me complaining about you being late, I felt like it was because you were mad about Bobby. And Sutton just looks at her and was like, baby, you'll know when I'm mad at you. And she was like, well, you said, hey, Missy. Like,
But she goes, "Oh yeah, it was snarky."
and I'm like, this lady would not survive in the South because Hennessy is just how ladies in the South address people.
It was Sutton's tone though.
Well, she always has a tone.
Yeah,
She
but still,
condescending as hell.
I would have knew she was being a smart ass with me too.
Are you? Do you think Sutton may be a little medicated this season? Because when she was talking, she said, "Missy, you'll know
I
when
mean,
I'm married with you."
I don't really know. I do see her pausing more when she speaks. I think she's just thinking more. She's not
Which is a
really
shock.
blurting things out. She's not having
Yeah,
her diary rhythm out. I think she's just it could seem that way because she's being slower to speak now. Like it still
yeah.
seems like there's a delayed reaction.
She mentioned that she has been talking to her mother in a therapist capacity. And I'm like, damn, Reba is a goddamn miracle worker. Because the fact that Sutton would crash out at the drop of a hat for the past 3 seasons, and now she's like, oh, that's good for you. I
I think
love
part of
that for
that
you.
was due to her not having a relationship with her mom, so maybe even that's changing her.
Too little, too late. She already done screwed over Garcelle, the one person who liked her regardless. Um, Sutton seems a little medicated, but she's saying that Amanda is choosing to pick on her for being late, and everybody else was also late. And Sutton was like, young lady, I'm 78. You're not going to chastise me. No little girl's going to sun me. Basically, was the energy she's giving. And Amanda still is just kind of like, I feel like you're mad. I feel like you're mad. Um, she then wants to dive deeper into the Abby conversation, and you can literally feel and see everybody at the table just like, oh,
Oh, my
oh,
video.
God, not this again.
Oh, but
Erica says in the
it's
confession, oh, go ahead.
that's to say I do love though that even though like Amanda isn't my favorite person, I do love how she's managing to like irritate the hell out of them all because I feel like they all deserve it. Maybe not Rachel, Kathy, and Jennifer Tilly, but the rest of them, I love that they're being annoyed by her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because they need it. They need to. Terrorize them. I'm cool with it. You're
I
annoying
just
me,
hate that
but
I'm being
like,
annoyed at the same time.
absolutely. So I'm not on the show, so I don't care. I can turn it off and go about my day. Um, but Erica in her confession is like, bitch, nobody cares about this. We do not care to rehash this. Um, Amanda is like, yeah, it feels like you're working purposely to not be mad at Avi, but I feel like, if I wouldn't be a good friend if I didn't tell you, something like that. And Sutton says, well, I don't know the facts of how this conversation went, so therefore I don't care enough about it to give it any energy. And Jennifer Tilly and Kathy both say, well, this doesn't really sound like Avi. Kathy Hilton specifically is like, I can't see Avi saying this. And Amanda keeps kind of going, it's like, well, are you saying that he didn't say it? Are you saying I'm lying? And Sutton puts that little leg down and says, I refuse to talk about this anymore. And if anybody wants to talk about it, you can do it amongst yourselves because I sure as hell won't be privy to it. And everybody kind of like, ooh, ooh.
And
they're like, all right. Erica kind of jumps in and was like, well, when you react like that, it makes it feel like it's bigger than it really, really is. And Sutton then is kind of like agreeing with Kathy, like, well, this just doesn't sound like something Avi would say. So why would I do this? Why would I give this any energy? He says the fallout with her and Avi actually really, really hurt her. And she starts to get a little emotional. She says the fallout affected her deeply and she doesn't want to talk about it. She gets up and it's kind of like leaving or whatever. They're talking with her off to the side. Oh, no, sorry. They're at the table, excuse me. Because I thought that this was interesting that Erica said, Sutton, everybody at this table is in a better place with you than they were last year. Don't worry what anybody else is saying. Ignore it and don't give it any energy. And she kind of looks at Amanda, and everybody's like, yes, don't. Just ignore it. Ignore the gossip. And Amanda's like, okay. I thought I was doing what I needed to do. I thought it was interesting that Erica got a chance to say that. Jennifer Tilly leans over to Sutton and says, also, and she literally said nothing else. And Sutton basically was like a mom in church, twisting her arm like, oh, no, stop, shut.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jennifer's like, oh, okay, I'm just, okay. Jennifer gets up. She's looking emotional. Kyle kind of goes after her. It's kind of going to the bathroom. And this is when we end the episode by Jennifer saying that Sutton snapped at her 4 days ago, which we saw in there, which Sutton, Jennifer was trying to keep it light and funny and Sutton chewed her out then. Jennifer feels like Sutton gets a pass because she's her friend and she doesn't want to upset her, but everybody else also views her as fragile. Then she says, it's always the Sutton show. It's always about Sutton. She goes, I can see now why Garcelle would leave. It's always about Sutton. And I'm like,
That's been the most exciting line of the season.
because Jennifer doesn't get emotional. Jennifer doesn't get involved. So you could tell that she was really hurt that, like, damn, this bitch who basically threatened to beat your ass for 3 years, you let her speak in front of the whole table. I lean over to whisper something to you and I get cussed.
And it's a problem.
I get cussed. In a surprising turn of events, everybody is actually having Sutton's back on this. Nobody's really addressing Amanda, not even Kyle. Kyle isn't like, you tried, you can't, have her accept it. Kyle's just like, oh, well, that didn't work. I'm going to try something else.
And I think that nobody's pressing Sutton because it's coming from Amanda and they don't like Amanda.
Yeah.
Had anybody else said it, they would be pushing and pressing Sutton. Well, why don't you want to talk about it? If you did nothing wrong, why? Everybody would be pressing it because it's coming from Amanda. They don't want to talk about it.
I agree. Sutton says in her confessional that she's surprised at how easily it was to make connections with the women that she thought she would never have connections with. She never she never felt a part of the group until now. Now she feels like she's a part of it. And I'm sitting here like,
subtly blaming Garcelle for everything.
Absolutely. I said, what is the common denominator? And then I was like, these women told Garcelle they didn't want to be friends with her because of you. And that lady had your back and stood 10 toes in her friendship with you. But now you feel like you could never have a friendship with these women? Sutton needs hands. I need Jennifer Tilly to throw a drink or something.
Well, she needs legs, but I know what you mean by hands.
I need to get in here and find that video. That pissed me off so much. It's what Chase has been saying, you've been saying, Tonio's been saying, we've all been saying over the years. Once we clocked that Sutton didn't have Garcelle's back, Sutton is a pick me. I think I was one of the last few to think that, like, no, maybe she just doesn't like confrontation. But last season it was blatantly clear Sutton was only friends with Garcelle because she had no other choice.
And then when
We saw
Garcelle
how
told her, "You don't have my back. I'm always having yours." So I'm not asking you to have speak up.
yeah,
Okay.
you don't need to. Okay, well then I won't, girl. I'll let you get beat up, literally,
Yeah, but you want to say
emotionally,
that
verbally, and
4
physically.
years later when I'm done? That's you want to tell me that you didn't ask me to do that 4 years later?
Yep. Kyle put her hands on that lady multiple times, and she still chased after Kyle to be friends with her. Like, this just pissed me off so bad. Like, so bad, so bad. Um, so before we go into episode 6, do you have anything? What's your thought on the relationship with Amanda? Do you think? Well, you kind of already said it that Kyle kind of was pushing more so Amanda to say it, but seeing what we've seen of Amanda, do you think that she would have done that anyway, even if Kyle didn't encourage her?
I think she may have done it one-on-one with Sutton because it would, that would have still been filmed, but I think she would have done it one-on-one. I think Kyle, pushed her to do it. Kyle probably said, "Bring it up at dinner tonight." Bring it up while we're all hungry and waiting on our food at midnight that we haven't eaten yet.
And annoyed.
Bring it up then. Um, you know, I just feel like when it comes to Amanda, if Amanda is the puppet and Kyle's hand is like this, up her butt moving her mouth.
Yeah.
Kyle's hand is
Well, she seems to
she's
do that with a lot of girls that come on the show.
but this one was specifically though, like this one is blatantly obvious. Like she is just following Kyle around like Kyle's my friend, I'm renting her house. Like she wouldn't tell me to do anything that's not in my interest. Girl, you about to find out when you roll the tapes back.
Absolutely. One thing I give Kyle is you don't make it as the last OG standing 15 seasons later without being smart enough to know that somebody else needs to do your dirty work. Like,
And
she doesn't.
I really would love for Sutton not to come back anymore. I would be fine if she
I'm
didn't
good
come
on
back
that.
next season.
Yeah, there was actually, I'm surprised that they brought everybody back except Garcelle. Like, I wanted Sun back so they could beat her up. But seeing that these ladies absolutely are like, we're good on it, that pissed me off.
Without
That's pissed me
Amanda,
off.
she would get beat up.
Yeah,
Amanda
because
is
they wouldn't
saving
have a
her.
punching bag.
They're diverting attention.
Yeah. I'm so annoyed, man. I'm so annoyed. All right, so we start episode 6. Why does Kyle have all these matte black cars? She's got like 6 cars, all sitting in a driveway
I
that
wasn't
doesn't fit
annoyed with
them.
that. What I was what I was annoyed with is that there was such an easy path for her to back out and just go anyway. That is what really annoyed me. It was such an easy path. Back straight up. You wouldn't have hit the other car that was parked sideways.
Yeah,
And if you can't do that, go back in and get the right keys.
it is literally everything that encompasses the whole scene encompasses everything that's wrong with Kyle. It's get in front of the cameras, make my life more difficult, and then sit there and complain about it. That's exactly Kyle for the last 15 years. So we see Rachel and Bose, which are, I enjoy watching Bose with Rachel. I think that they both, as much as Bose annoyed me last year, you can't take away that lady has built an empire for herself. And I think being neck to neck with Rachel Zoe, who has also built an empire for herself, kind of elevates her. It's that kind of relationship that I wish that she had with Garcelle, because Garcelle was a mogul. Garcelle started to build things for herself, and I wish that the two of them would have done that versus Dorit, who has done what, Kyle, who's done what, like Erica, who's done what. Like, it almost feels like she's not on the same level as the rest of them, as annoying
I
as she
actually
is.
was annoyed that Bose was in the scene. I would have much preferred to see Rachel shop on her own. That was
The Rachel Zoe
enjoyable to me.
project.
It was enjoyable to me.
I honestly think, and I feel like this was meticulous because there really is no reason for Rachel Zoe to be on a franchise. She's always been the draw. I think this may be a soft launch. Like her kids are a little more grown. She's divorced. I think this may be a soft launch to see how she feels being back on reality TV and maybe bringing back Rachel's Old Project. And if that's the best thing to come out of Beverly Hills, I'm on it. Great. Bring her back. I would love that. Because I feel like with everything going on in her personal life and with her kids, I don't think that that's
Mm-hmm.
getting to be showcased on Beverly Hills as much
Correct.
as it could be.
Yeah.
Bose also has been a little more demure this season, and we find out that she's in fertility treatments, pumping herself full of hormones and stuff in preparation to get some of her eggs removed and harvested, so that way they can be fertilized. Because her and what is it, Keely? That man's name, her fiance's
Yeah,
name, I think it's
Keely.
Keely. Have a baby. We kind of dragged her last
Is he
season.
fiance? Because they still keep putting boyfriend up. They don't say fiance
I
when they
think they
post
got
it.
engaged after the
So
season came
Bravo
out,
being
like
messy.
recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's. I wish her the best on her fertility journey, considering also she shared last year how difficult it has been.
Yeah.
But a lot of our viewers last year said that having a baby as the sole way to keep the man
And she
is
said
not.
as much in this episode that
Yep.
she needs it to
And,
work because she don't know how he's gonna feel otherwise. Baby, if y'all don't
yep.
go adopt.
Look, look. What I will say is, I love that Rachel, in every scene that she's in with these ladies, hypes up these ladies and is really, really supportive. She's like, absolutely, a baby, this is great. You know, I'm going to be sending you good energy, motherhood. It's great. I'm so sorry. Like, I enjoy that because out of everybody, if somebody wanted to come in and be a bitch and hold themselves a little bit higher than
Could have been
people,
her.
it could have been Rachel. And I think that maybe Rachel 20 years ago might have done that. But seeing like her maturity and stuff, and I really am enjoying this Rachel though. Like she's kept her quirkiness, her love of material things, her love of money, her business acumen, but she's softened a bit. And I really, really like this.
If Rachel
Um,
Zoe had been on season one of Beverly Hills, Kyle probably wouldn't be the OG that stayed all the seasons. It would have been
Absolutely.
Rachel.
It would have been Rachel and it would have been Lisa Vanderpump because I feel
Yeah.
like Vanderpump and Rachel would have been, and Adrian. I feel like Adrian would have.
Mm.
Well, you know what? I don't know. Rachel may have left when Brandy hopped on. Rachel probably would have been like, "I'm not doing this shit. We're not doing
Yeah.
this."
Renna might have ran Rachel away.
Rinna absolutely would have ran Rachel away. Um, it is so crazy how the middle part of Beverly Hills basically turned to a Maury Jerry Springer episode, just like Trailer Park, just the bottom of the barrel. And we watched it. We consider that the golden days. This is nuts. Brandy
Yeah.
really declassed the show. They recap the trip. Rachel Zoe was annoyed that Amanda was really a control freak. Bose kind of echoes the sentiments that you mentioned earlier, that Amanda was trying to gain some points by dropping the Avi gossip, and it really fell flat. It did not go the way that she had planned, and Bose said she's currently on notice with everyone. Everybody's side-eyeing her.
And
Everybody's
you know what
noticing
else
how
I
she
think
moves.
when Bo said that too, when it fell flat, it's because while they all don't really aren't the biggest fans of something, they all liked Avi.
Yes, Avi was a saving grace. And so they tolerated Sutton.
Hmm.
I also think that I think Avi and Sutton's relationship absolutely was real. They were together for a while. They were really good friends.
Yeah.
The issue is the same thing that Jennifer said about Garcelle. Sutton does not know how to take accountability and does not know how to apologize genuinely. Sutton gets insanely defensive, and deflects and doesn't. She does not value the people in her life, and I feel like that stems from her mother not valuing the people in her life.
Hmm.
Um, Sutton needs to talk to the lady that's not her mother. Sutton needs to go to someone. We've said this for years. Sutton needs to be in therapy. But seeing how she has moved with Garcelle, then with Avi, and her breakup with Avi came almost instantaneously after her and Garcelle's falling in. And I genuinely think that Avi was trying to be like, "Bitch, what are you doing? Like, you didn't have that lady's back. And I think that because Avi and Garcelle are still kicking it, having the time of their
Mm-hmm.
lives together. And I genuinely think that Aubrey tried to go to bat and called Sutton out on some of her stuff, and Sutton did not
Agree.
like it. Um, Rachel and Bose are laughing at Amanda for calling herself the Money Queen. Rachel didn't know, apparently, that that's what Amanda's nickname is. She's like, what? The Money Queen, what? I don't get it. And Amanda, Bose is like, she called her the Money Queen. It's the Money Queen. She wrote a book about money. I'm not going to say it again. They're both just like, who would call themselves that? Like, one, considering you don't have any money. But okay. Or she didn't have any money. We get a home scene after this of Amanda and her husband. And I will say, Amanda's annoying. I do enjoy that she's sticking it to these ladies. I love her parenting. I love that she puts an emphasis on no tablets and no TV, and really emphasis on her husband spending time with the kids and them going and doing things and getting away from celebrities. So as much as she wants money and all this, it does seem like she wants her kids to have some sense of appreciation for the things that they have, and they want to be grounded.
Yeah, no, yeah. I There was just one comment that I didn't like, and she's like, "And they're having a happier child." Well, happier than who? Happier childhood than who? Because you don't know these other kids are happy with what they're doing.
Yeah,
I just didn't like that comment. Maybe a happy childhood than she had.
yeah, yeah. Um, we end this little segment. They're kind of expressing that Amanda is on notice. And the reason I watched this show, Rachel Zoe turns around and drops $11,000 on some clothes, and I'm like, yes.
It was not on some clothes. It was on the pearls and that jacket, just two pieces.
I was like, yes, yes.
And got mad
This
she
is
didn't
what
see
we need.
the baby denim purse
Yeah,
afterwards.
she's like, I'm like, I didn't show. And even Bose was like, bitch, I want this watch. This watch is it. I was like, yes, bring back rich bitches shopping. Like,
Hmm.
yes. Because the rest of I don't need the rest of this.
That kaleidoscope wasn't it?
That the console was happy. Um, we kind of end this little segment with Amanda and her husband talking about how, and Amanda kind of talked about this a couple of weeks ago at that dinner or whatever, that they lost one of their twins. I think it was 4 years ago. She was pregnant with twins. They were premature, and her son that is 4 now, I think his name is it Kanan. Um,
Yeah.
they were premature, had to be in the NICU for like 60 days, I want to say. And their other son, Zion, did not make it, actually passed away in her arms. And this is the anniversary of that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So this my I may make a statement that many people may attack me for. I just do not understand why they had footage of everything happening. Like, I get like in the Nick, I get that, but
Yeah,
like when she held him as, I just even if I had that footage, I wouldn't like if I shared it, if I had filmed it just so that I could see myself again holding it for the last time and stuff. Like, I don't know that I would have shared that. Like
yeah,
at this, while I give her at the same time props for being so open and honest and sharing such a raw moment with us. At the same time, like, girl, I would have kept the footage of that to myself just because that's
yeah,
such a private moment, like,
yeah. I agree. And it is one of those things. It's similar. It's one of those things where everybody grieves differently. I know that
yeah.
probably sharing that story and that footage, there are millions of women who have experienced that, continue to experience that, and so it was a bit much for me. Like I was like, oh my, I can't do this.
Like
But I
it's really
understand.
sad to see that, thinking,
Yeah,
knowing that that was the last time she had, like, that was a lot to.
that was a lot. But it is one of those things where I do applaud her for putting her real life out there,
Yeah.
real life, real stuff, and I hope that there are people watching that will be able to say, like, again, same with Gertie sharing the cancer diagnosis. And I know that there were people like, why did they, show, when she was taking her top off and talk about it's like this is her real life. This is stuff
I
she
mean, we
went
can
through.
see the
There,
top coming off when they're getting implants for cosmetic
yeah,
purposes. I mean, why not?
yeah,
She can take her top
uh,
off for that.
exactly. It's real life. There are people that are going to resonate with it. There are people that are going to be like, I don't want to see that. It's the only thing that took away was just like, my God, I think that in franchises, it's very easy for dads to be really hands off, and we've seen a lot of bad dads over the years not spending time with their kids and not really caring about stuff. To see Amanda's husband just as emotional, if not more, about missing his child, missing his son, like struck
Hmm.
a nerve with me, and I was like, okay, you're
Yeah,
annoying as well, but you and your husband genuinely seem to have good hearts, and I can see how much you care for your kids. And nobody should have to go through that. And
agreed.
I'm glad that they put this in because we see how this now comes back later on
Later
in the
on.
episode. Um, Dorit has new management and is releasing a book. Like, okay, girl, good job, good job,
Yeah, I
good
don't have
job.
much. I don't have much for that because
I don't have much.
Dorit writing a memoir is going to be as long as an encyclopedia set.
Yeah,
As
which
long-winded as she is, we're
well,
gonna
we'll
have
find out she's not actually writing it. So
26 volumes.
it's just like, what are you talking about? Are you going to talk about the $20 million lawsuit that you had against you for Beverly Beach? Like, if not, keep it. I don't care. Um, Kyle and Sutton are at a spa. Kyle can't wait to tell Sutton what Jennifer Tilly said about her, and I'm like, God damn, lesbians are messy. So she tells her, this is what happened. This is what Jennifer was saying. And like Kyle normally does, she put a little razzle dazzle on it. Um, Sutton looks mad because the way Kyle frames it, it's like Jennifer Tilly was bashing Sutton. Sutton makes everything about herself. I hate Sutton, and she's the sole reason Garcelle left. And I'm like, it's not what she
Yeah,
said, lady.
well, here's the thing. She also didn't just say that she understands why that's the reason Garcelle left. She says that's why Garcelle didn't want to be friends with you. And those were never Tilly's words. Like these
Yeah,
housewives always put a spin on things.
yeah. It's that production hat Kyle wears. It's, well, shit, we're episode 6 and nothing's happened. Let me go ahead. Like, production told me I can't cry about Mauricio anymore. So, like, I got to bring up something
Well,
else.
they don't listen because they cry in the next episode.
Also, just really quick, Mauricio's face was like, bitch, really? Like, we're doing this again? My God, why do I keep coming over here?
And I think the biggest part that Sutton was probably so like touching her white woman pearls is because she knows that's exactly why Garcelle left.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, but again, instead of crashing out, like, Sun was like, okay, that's interesting. I'm like, damn, you must be doing your breathing exercises, counting to 10.
I
Good
thought
for
the
you.
red light. I thought the red light had turned back on in there because her face got so red. So I thought the infrared light had came back on.
Um, we see Bose and Keely are at the hospital. Bose is about to the term harvesting eggs. I feel like that feels so like invasive, but it's essentially she has 8 viable eggs and
Egg
they're going to
retrieval
8
is what
retrieval.
I.
Thank you. Harvesting just sounds like okay. Thank you. She's retrieving her eggs on her fertility journey. Really, fingers crossed for her. I can see that this is really kind of taking a toll on her. Like she has seen the past couple of episodes just like tired and worn down. And I can't imagine popping myself full of hormones, how that has an effect on your body. Anyway, they're prepping for Rachel's cookout. Rachel's block ain't got no power, and I'm like, oh, celebrities, they're just like us.
Baby,
They
that
lose
chef
power on
said,
this shit
"I know
too.
how to light the gas. I can cook." That was so funny.
Um, Sutton's pissed at Jennifer, and she's let Erica know, and complaining to Erica that Jennifer would go to Kyle and not to her. And I'm like, but you're going to Erica and to Jennifer. So, okay, sure. And Erica again is just kind of sitting there like, wow, that's me. You have to talk
Hmm.
to her. You have to do it. I know Erica's like, bitch, I don't care. I genuinely don't care. Um, Amanda in the car ride over does tell Kyle that it is that day is literally the anniversary of her son's death. And she is just hoping that the night will bring a distraction for her. And I'm like, oh no,
You know, this is where I say Kyle is a dirty dog
dirty.
because everyone else later on when it comes up says, "I wish someone had told us."
Yep.
And Kyle's
Yep.
looking there like, while they're saying it, we didn't know. Kyle's like,
Yeah. It's one of those things where there are certain things when people tell you that you're like, that's not my place to tell anybody. But you were at that little dinner a couple of weeks ago where
that
she
she
said,
already
like,
said it. So you
she
could say
already
today's
said
the
her son had
anniversary.
passed away.
Let's be.
So you couldn't go up to the ladies and just say, hey, remember when Amanda told us blah? It's today. Let's please, for the love of God,
Keep
try
it light and
to
fun.
keep it light and fun. Kyle don't give a shit. That lady does not care. Um, the ladies are arriving. This Simon Fuller's ex-wife, I had heard before this season that she was going to be like a actual friend of the show, but I don't think that she has been in any like promos or took like a friend a picture or anything. So I
But
don't
I hear
know
she
if that
turns it
got
up.
cut.
So
Oh, she does? Great.
I hear she
Let's
turns
do
it
it.
up. So
Let's do it. Because she kind of gave just like, I will say that little bodysuit and the camisole over it, like, ma'am, relax, bitch.
it was as
Relax.
bad as that one confessional look Erica has had this season.
It looked like, do you remember when Kenya dressed up as
The fake
uh
girl with the donkey booty.
Phaedra? That's what it gave. I was like, okay, we're throwing it back. Good job. Um, Amanda and Jennifer arrive. Sutton looks mad as hell. Dorit walks in. She's got a new little Hermes, and I'm like, "Ma'am, you were literally just complaining, saying like, I need to make money. I got to support my kids. PK broke as hell, and then he spent $12,000 on a purse. Like, maybe not
And she
that.
probably only got 50 grand for that book advance. So I mean, it ain't
Maybe
like
right? They're like, really? Can it just be like a podcast, a one episode podcast?
no, it won't be. She won't get past the forward in the one episode.
Um, Everybody is cheering her on, like, "Oh, good job, the book deal is great." And Amanda can't help herself. If I was there, I would have been annoyed, but as a viewer, I'm like, "Get her." And Amanda's like, "Who's writing it?" And she goes, "Oh, well, I've got some co-authors." And Amanda's like, "Oh, I've never thought about that. I wrote my book myself."
But Dorit got
And
her back good. Dorit said, "Well, you have
Marguerite said,
time."
"Well, I just, I don't have, with kids and stuff, I don't really have time." And Amanda said, "Yeah, it just, it never crossed my mind. I just sat down and wrote my book." And Dorit says, "Well, you had a lot of time." I'm like, "Yes, look, I hate Dorit, but that lady's mouth can be vicious. Don't, don't piss her off." Um, Dorit doesn't seem super phased. She doesn't get defensive. She was like, "All right, girl, whatever." Uh, But Amanda will not stop talking about it. Literally, seconds later, she's in another group of people and is like, I can't believe she's got ghostwriters. I never would have, I didn't know you could do that. I'm like, bitch, please shut up. Like, stop. Stop. Like, don't. It's the anniversary of you wanted to keep it light, but you can't help yourself. So maybe stop. You don't want to play this game. It's very obvious you've watched this show. Do you want to play
Hmm
this game with Dorit?
It's
Um,
well, I'll get into it later. I'll say what I have to say later. It ties more into later.
Okay, but it's obvious the other ladies can't stand her mouth. Um, Rachel, Erica, and Dorit are all kind of talking, and Erica was like, "Well, I'm a best-selling author, a New York Times best-selling author," and Rachel was like, "Oh yeah, I am too, 2 times, but I don't talk about it." And everybody's just kind of laughing, and Sutton comes up and is like, "What are y'all talking about, Amanda?" Well, let me tell you what she said. Oh my god! So this is how Sutton keeps the hate train from being on her. She's turned into one of the messy ass bitches in order to keep the heat off of her, and I did not like it, but I'll allow it.
I
So
think what
she tells
annoyed
them
me
on
when she
Amanda that's
told them, "Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry."
no, 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 you.
I'll just say I think it's so annoying that Dorit gets so offended at what Sutton relays that Amanda said because Amanda didn't say anything wrong there. It absolutely can be used against you.
Absolutely.
And
Um, Everybody has said that about every divorce ever. Like, relax. Don't do too much. That's the father of your children. I think Bose told her that last season.
I think
Like,
Kyle did too.
yeah, that's just not too much publicly. But yeah, Sutton says, Amanda was really offended that you spend so much time talking about your divorce and PK's drinking. Um, and Dorit says, I would not expose anything about PK that he didn't give me permission for. And I'm like, well, PK was saying after last season that what you were saying was a lie. So, like,
And it's funny
what is the
because
truth?
here's the thing. I do the only thing that I will probably believe Dorit on, and I also think she's exaggerating it some, like embellishing it a lot, is I do believe that PK probably doesn't see the kids as much as he should. He didn't do it as much when they were married.
Yeah,
So that's the only thing that I truly 100% believe. And I don't know if it's as much as she says either.
yeah. But then, we heard Kyle earlier say that Mauricio said that PK is being blocked from viewing the kids, like that Dorit
I
is
just can't take
actively.
his word either. He's supposed to say that
Yeah,
for his friend too.
yeah, they're both liars. I mean, he staged a whole burglary allegedly, and she's Dorit. So, what is the truth? Um, Jennifer Tilly is in a damn good mood. She comes in saying hi, like, "Oh my God, I missed you." And Sutton's like, "We need to have a conversation
She
right
looked
now."
good
So like,
too.
I love, I, I love Tilly.
She got the ultimate compliment when Rachel Zoe said, "Bitch, I think I want her closet."
Absolutely. So they sit down. Sutton says her feelings are super, super hurt, and she says that Kyle told her that Jennifer basically said that Sutton is a nasty rude bitch and Garcelle should have whooped her ass. And Jennifer Tilly's like, I didn't say that. Sutton. No, I don't remember what I said, but I didn't say that. And Jennifer, like, this is how you know Jennifer is not malicious. Like, you could tell she was genuinely like put in the place of confrontation and she hated it. That poor girl started stuttering and was like, it was in in the era of just like, I was frustrated. I'm your best friend. I've held you down and you snapped at me. And I can see, why Garcelle probably felt snapped at sometimes and why she got her feelings hurt too. And I was actually proud of Sutton that she didn't keep going in on Tilly. I think Sutton probably knew that Kyle put a little salt on it because she said, like, I know you're my best friend. I don't want to fight. I want to dead it. She kind of takes responsibility saying, I shouldn't have snapped at you. She never said, I'm sorry, but she
See, I think
agreed that she
Sutton's
did snap.
calculating. I think Sutton's calculating. I just think Sutton knows the public would not be on her side if she really had a full-on feud with Tilly. That's the only reason I
Right.
think.
Because we see later at dinner that Sutton leans in and tells, like, I was like, what did she say? And Sutton says, she doesn't remember it. So I don't know. But in this, she just, she hugs Tilly. Um, and she it's whatever, they squash the beat. It still fucks Sutton, but like, okay. They finally sit to dinner. We learn that Bose told Rachel that they are successful in retrieving 2 eggs. Awesome, good for them. I guess the next step is to fertilize them, and we'll see how things go. um Amanda is sitting with this tarot card lady who don't know how to read tarot, and it's just like excited to be there. And so then Amanda asks her if she's a medium, and that girl is like, sometimes, yes, but I can't control it. It just kind of comes. And so Amanda says, can do you get anything off of me? And that lady looks panicked. She's just like, no,
It was
not
to
right
me
now.
when she said I don't hear anything. Then when she turns the card, oh, but this is him trying to contact. He wants to contact you. I'm like,
That poor girl, she was like, God damn, I didn't think y'all thought I was serious. But I do feel bad because Amanda immediately starts sobbing. And we find out that she was excited about the medium because she was hoping that she could get something from her son, channel something from her son. And we find out that her husband feels her son, and she is a bit envious because she wants to get signs and she wants to feel them. My heart breaks again because you can see genuinely how affected that she is by this,
hmm
and I can't imagine really going through it. Um, they sit down after this, and Kyle tries to start the drama again, um, asking Sutton what Jennifer said, and Jennifer just kind of speaks up and was like, "It was a misunderstanding. Like, Pilot, said that I said something. It wasn't in that context. It was whatever." And I think it was Erica that immediately was like, "No, no, no, we're not going to do this. Like, there is no reason for y'all to fight. It's over and done with. That's all that matters." And I think I'm seeing a little bit that maybe Erica might be clocking Kyle and how Kyle's moving, because you can tell in scenes where Kyle's talking about Dorit that Erica is kind of like,
girl, I told you don't say nothing and let it go. Like you
yeah,
just keep go.
you keep doing it. You keep doing it. So the fact that she kind of saw that Jennifer was like, it's nothing, we squashed it. I'm glad that Erica kind of hopped in and was like, yeah, like it's over and done with. There's no reason for us to keep talking about it. But Dorit was like, well, we can talk about something. Amanda, why is my name in your name? Why do you have such a strong opinion about what I said about, my divorce, something I'm experiencing? You seem to have some really, really strong opinions. Amanda's like, all I said was, and I'm like, girl, just spit it out. Like, stop with this tone. Like, this is annoying. But I can see she was kind of emotional, whatever, but it's still annoying as hell. But basically, she said, and she stands by it. She said, all I said was that you should not be talking about your divorce because it may make any kind of custody arrangements or battles more tumultuous or more difficult in the future. And Dorit was like, how? And I'm like, what do you mean, how, bitch? Like, you pissed your baby daddy off.
That's why she has
Yeah.
ghostwriters, because she's not smart.
The ghostwriters will tell you that. So then Kyle asked Dorit where she heard this from, because Kyle knows that she was the one that told Amanda, because she knows she's been wearing Dorit low to anybody who will listen. And Dorit kind of pauses and then says, suck him. And suck his face. When Dorit, she said, like that. Why are you airing me out? But Dorit doesn't miss a beat, and she just keeps right on, and she's grilling Amanda. Why would you say that? What's going on? What did you say? Why are you talking about? And Amanda is just kind of rapid firing, this in. And before she's even answering, she just kind of says, you know what, I'm going to be honest. Diane died 3 years ago today, so I'm kind of hanging on by a thread. Kathy fucking Hilton said, who's that, your dog?
I can't lie. I lost my shit crack. It not laughing at the anniversary, laughing at just Kathy.
Because Zion died 3 years ago. Who, your dog?
Like, why is dog the first time? Is Zion your dog?
Your dog. And Amanda says,
I would have lost my shit if I was Amanda.
My son. And you hear Kathy Hilton in the background go, what?
So, and then you see the confessions, everybody. I wish somebody had told us. And every time they say they wish somebody had told us, the camera goes to Kyle looking around.
And Kyle's just like goddamn bitch. Again.
This season, Kyle's, even though, like I said, I'm the biggest fan of Amanda, Kyle's manipulating and treatment of Amanda is really just making her even more of a shithole to me.
Yeah. Because that lady is on the verge of tears in your car on the way over, telling you, I am hanging by a thread. I hope tonight is drama free. I hope. So instead of.
But hold on, here's the thing. She said, I hope tonight is drama free. But it's. I can't excuse Dorit for continuing to go right after Amanda said that. Dorit says we can have this conversation later and then keeps going. But it's hard because if you don't want no drama, after Dorit explained why she had a ghostwriter, you went later on and kept talking about it for 30 more minutes. So do you want drama or not? You can't poke and then get mad when you get a reaction.
Exactly. That's why during that scene I was like, ma'am.
You caused some drama.
My thing I wasn't even mad at Dorit because Dorit does this, and it's a show. Kyle pissed me off because you open your mouth, and instead of saying like, hey, Dorit, let's you and I have a conversation because this is not the context that this was in. Because Kyle chose to protect her own ass, but you didn't even have to speak up. But you did speak up, and instead of saying, Dorit, hold on, let me jump in here because I was there. You said, well, who told you that? Knowing full goddamn well who told her. You egged the situation on when you could have diffused it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
That lady sat in your car and said, I am hanging by a damn thread. And you chose to put gasoline on the fire. Like, this is why Kyle, I would be happy if Kyle leaves the show. I would be very happy if Kyle. I actually think Kyle needs to leave the show in order for Beverly Hills to really kind of enter some sort of other area. And it may very well be the way Atlanta kind of dipped after Nene and a lot of the OGs left, but things like that are necessary because at some point when Nene left, she was almost like she was not in the best place, and it was a little bit toxic with her. And leaving was the best thing that Nene could have done, but also the show needed a clean break from her for a little bit.
To me, Kyle and Sutton are like dark clouds over the season, both of them.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not like if we were genuinely on a journey of getting better post divorce, because viewers love a woman who comes in her own post divorce. Like we love it. Kyle is such an unlikable person
But also,
that
there's no divorce.
there's no divorce. Like you still want your husband, you're still married to that lady, or sleeping with that lady, or not sleeping. Like, how do you also come out as gay later in life? You have all the cards stacked in your favor to where you could have come back and have this redemption and make the show interesting. And instead, you
Should never
do
have a redemption with me.
at all, at all. Like, how do you fumble coming out and make people hate you even more? Like, how? Like, my God, the gays literally go up for anybody who comes out.
Garcelle gave you an opportunity at Chuck E. Cheese, and you did not take it.
You didn't want it because it was Garcelle. You didn't want it.
But Bose asked you the same question next season, and it's no problem.
And you giggle. You laugh. Okay, cool. Dorit doesn't care. She's still kind of going, like you said, Danny. She goes, we
I don't
don't have
want
to have this conversation
later.
But-
But still, why did you?
Dorit, I hate that lady, but when she's like a dog with a bone, and when she gets on it, it's the lack of self-awareness is amazing. Like that lady just keeps going. Amanda says she doesn't recall the exact content, but that she was agreeing with Kyle. And then she looks at, and this is why I kind of was like, okay, Amanda. Because Amanda was just like, Kyle, do you remember the context of what you said? And was I just agreeing, or did I add something more to it? And we get a flashback of the combo, and it was absolutely Kyle saying, doing her producer thing, asking Amanda, do you think that she's doing blah, 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 and it will hurt her in the future? That pissed me off. That. And Kyle was like, I don't remember exactly what the conversation went. I was like, yeah, okay. Amanda says she can't believe that Dorit is still going on about this. Dorit doesn't care. Amanda kind of gets up and says, I just want to be at home. I want to go and cuddle with my husband. And you can genuinely see everybody at the table is horrified. Rachel Zoe is just like, we've got to stop this. The ladies don't want it to end this way. Kathy goes up to Dorit and was like, look, you don't have to forgive her. You don't have to do anything, but like, you don't have to apologize, but please just go be the bigger person and like try to mend this. Dorit goes and kind of hugs her and says, Amanda, I'm so sorry for bringing this to you today. But you didn't tell me anything. I didn't know. So it's not my fault for chewing you out. My God, Dorit, just like
Don't touch my face, okay?
yeah, it's so, but you know, I was kind of in Amanda's corner. I don't like people touching my face. So Amanda's kind of crying, and Dorit's like, aw. And Amanda says, just, please don't touch me, right? Like, so dramatic. And that Dorit loses it. All right, fine. I won't. But she was like, all right, we're going back at it
gesture.
again. Yeah, they're fighting. They're fighting again. And my thing is, Amanda, again, I'm on your side. I'm sympathetic. I can't imagine the mental state that I would be in if it was the anniversary of a child of mine
I'm
that passed away
sympathetic,
in my
though. I'm not
arms.
on anyone's side here. I'm just sympathetic. I'm not on either side.
Exactly. But you chose to stand at that doorway and continue to engage with that woman. Dorit should have shut up. Dorit can be the bad guy you want, but baby, if you're still standing in front of my face, engaging with me, the leader in me is going to continue to engage with you.
Dorit,
So Amanda, I think Amanda wanted that sympathy. She wanted
Amanda
to
should have
keep
hit
angry.
her.
I
Amanda
mean,
should have
look,
hit her. Put that in your memoir.
if she would have done that, I would have been like, all right. Amanda likes to argue. And MJ literally just said it. I think Amanda likes to argue when she knows that she's right. And she think she's right
I
all the time.
don't, and here's the thing, and I get that, but at the same time, you can't have it both ways. You can't
Yeah,
tell Dorit to leave you alone. Let's be very clear. Dorit was shitty for saying we can have this conversation at a time and then continuing to attack Amanda. She was
yep,
wrong. There's no disputing that. But the minute you continue to engage me, as much as I hate to say this, Dorit was right when she said, "Okay, so do you want to talk about it now or no?"
yep, yep. You tell me because you're doing two different things. You can't argue with a person if you get over and walk away. Like you can't argue with somebody. Dorit would have sat there arguing with the wall, and people
And
know
that's why
that because that's
Kathy
how
had Dorit
Dorit is.
follow her. Kathy didn't want Dorit to go show her sympathy. Kathy wanted to keep the show going. Kathy
Yeah,
wanted more entertainment.
yeah. And it's like I don't know this whole scene. So she gets in the car, she turns it on. I feel bad, and everybody is just like mortified at the situation. Dorit really doesn't care. Kyle is sitting there like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that this is
I can't wait
happening."
for the reunion when they see all these flashbacks of Kyle saying this, Kyle having that conversation with Amanda about Dorit, Amanda telling Kyle about the thing, and all the flash. Everybody's saying
Nothing's
we
gonna
wish we knew.
happen.
No,
That happens every year. Kyle production shows videos of Kyle doing all of that, and nobody cares. They kiss. They kiss
this
her
time they
wedding.
might, because I think they all really were mortified about the whole,
Yeah,
anniversary debate. That might happen. 'Cause
yeah,
Dorit's gonna hold Kyle's head to the fire. She's not gonna go anywhere. But Dorit's gonna say something about you lied. It was Amanda. I mean, it was
you.
you.
I'm actually interested in Bose's opinion on this because Bose and Dorit are really, really close. We know this. Bose also kind of bonded with Amanda over because Bose also had a miscarriage. Bose's child also, passed. Her first, I think, believe it was the first daughter. Um, I'm interested to see how that would have gone had Bose been there or seen it walked back or excuse me, viewed back. What her thoughts are of like Dorit still choosing to
And the
kind of go.
fact that I just realized too, when Dorit went up to her at the doorway, when Amanda said you kept going, and Dorit says, "No, honey, I didn't. You did. I told you let's talk about it later, and you kept going." I'm like, Dorit, this was just 30 seconds ago. You're the one who kept going after you said you lying piece of.
Right? So yeah, so we end there. It was kind of a mess. I did feel bad for Amanda, but I'm also am like you're engaging and continuing to engage. You can't tell somebody stop. It's very Meredith. I'm not engaging anymore. Get up, walk away, and come back. But another thing, if I say I'm not engaging, don't engage me. Um, Next episode does look great, and so I'm glad that we're finally getting a little bit of something. It still feels fake.
Next
The
episode
fact
is great, except for the Kyle Mauricio scene. I don't want that.
ever. The Caruso scene always brings the vibe down. Um, it feels weird that the elephant in the room, the elephant being them pushing Garcelle out, is not being addressed. And it's interesting that it's being swept under the rug. And really, the only mention that we have of it is with Jennifer Tilly. And then we see flashback scenes or scenes of conversations that aren't really being happened in real time of them asking, "Have you talked with Garcelle?" None of the other ladies are speaking about Garcelle. None of the other ladies care that Garcelle
See, I
is
don't like
here or
saying they
gone.
pushed Garcelle out because I feel like they won. I mean, I feel like Garcelle
Yeah,
won when she made the conscious decision to leave and not put up with that crap anymore. So I
yeah,
don't like saying they pushed her out. Sutton was a bad friend and she chose not to deal with it anymore. She knew not to expect friendship from the other ladies.
yeah. That's true.
So I don't think they pushed her out. Garcelle made a decision to say the hell with y'all. I don't
Yeah,
need this, and she's
I will
flourishing
say
now.
Sutton better quit this little campaign she's on of being the victim in that situation. Because these
Hmm.
tears of like, why would Jennifer say that about me and Garcelle, knowing how heartbroken I was of Garcelle? And production's also pissing me off because they're only choosing when Sutton is like, I tried reaching out to Garcelle, she won't talk to me. Like it's giving very much the narrative of I'm this little heartbroken damsel in distress, and I don't know why my friend won't talk to me.
I
Like I,
want Garcelle to pop up at the reunion like Karen did for Potomac at the end, since we see Karen's pictures in the reunion photos with the looks. I want Garcelle to come out and pull out a scroll long as Angie's from Salt Lake City and say, "This is why."
I as much as I would love that, I think Garcelle is winning this because they're asking. She's on interviews. She's got more movies that are popping out. She's been at these parties and people are asking her. We saw
She's been
this.
in
Blah,
more
blah, blah.
scenes than Kathy Hilton this season.
Yeah. Would you ever go back? And I think she's winning because she's just laughing like, bro, absolutely the fuck not. Why am I going back to that show? Look at what's going on here. And meanwhile, Sutton is over there crying about, her journey of love and light. So I think Garcelle made the right decision. Always leave the people wanting more. And people absolutely
No,
wanted
every
more.
time they ask her that, she should say, "I told Andy what it would take for me to come back. Erica needs to
Yeah.
leave." That would be my
Yep.
answer every time.
Every time. Every time. So yeah, that's where we were at. We've got about 5 minutes before me and Danny both got to go. Danny, really quick, what are your any more thoughts or anything on these two episodes, and what do you hope to see as the rest of the season unfolds?
So this was definitely the best episode so far of the season.
And the bar is so low,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, what I hope to see more is just I want to see something more than just sitting down at dinner and arguing.
which
And
has become
something,
kind of the only thing Beverly Hills does.
but also not just going like we haven't seen anything great. Like I just even the scenes where they're doing stuff, hike was boring, antique shopping was boring. Like I just want to see something lively. I want to see
Yeah,
like go out to a charity event or something like, and if you're gonna have drama, have it there like they used to do in Housewives of New York. Like they don't care, just shut it down. Ramona and Sonia arguing in the middle. Like give me something like that. Right now, I am bored to tears. But again, I am hoping the second half picks up. I hope
yeah,
Natalie clocks in. I am looking forward to seeing Kyle and Erica and Dorico at it. I am looking
yeah.
forward to that because
I
Erica's
really
gonna let her
hope,
hold it.
yeah, I hope Erica and Dorit gang up on Kyle. I don't. I want Erica really to put a foot down with
It's gonna
that.
be the other way around. Erica and Kyle are gonna go at Dorit.
And I hate that for me. Because honestly, Dorit annoys the living shit out of me.
Me
But if they
too.
were to, this thing has earned her paycheck the last like 2 or 3 seasons.
So look, I don't like Kyle. I don't like Dorit. In Kyle versus Dorit, I'm Team Dorit.
Absolutely. The enemy of my enemy is my friend for today. We can worry about us getting you off later. But I think that Kyle needs a break. The show needs a break from Kyle. I think the viewers need a
The
break
show itself could
from
use
him.
a season or two off and come
Yeah.
back fresh.
They absolutely need an elongated break. It's starting to feel just like a continuation of the same season. It's starting to feel like one big, long, drawn out season.
I
Erica
just
absolutely looks bored this season, and she's just like, "Well,
I just
I'm
think if
here."
these shows are going to continue for another 10 years or whatever, because, we know Bravo has stood the test of time. We have a housewives addiction. We love the show.
Yeah,
But as you usher in a younger, fresher girl like Amanda, you need to be phasing out one of the older
yeah.
girls because the only way I'm not going to be interested in seeing Kyle at 65 and 70. I'm not interested in her now. But I'm just saying, like, you need to
I'm
be
looking interested in her at 40.
as soon as you usher one in that same season, usher out, do it gradually because we've
Yeah,
learned also with like the new Housewives of New York, a whole new cast after a break doesn't cut it. It's just
it's
not gonna
too
sustain.
it's too much of a shock for people. And
Yeah, you got to
Atlanta, I
gradually
will say,
phase it out.
Atlanta tried to do that, but the fans. This is where the fans annoy the hell out of me because it's like it's not sustainable to keep the same cast. It gets boring. As much as you love certain cast members, organically, they need to be phased out. And Atlanta has tried that, and it's been hit or miss
I
a little
enjoyed that
bit.
season of Atlanta a lot.
Yeah, but I think that a lot of it is it's almost like the fans don't want the show to succeed with new blood. But it's like they've been doing
It's
that.
not that. It's just that, I'm just not automatically going to root for somebody because they're new. Like,
Yeah,
unfortunately, the new people we've seen over there, like Angela Oakley in Atlanta to me, love her.
yeah,
Didn't Brittany was a horrible
yeah,
casting choice. And
yeah,
and Kelly, like I could take her leave her, but it's just sometimes they don't make the right decision. We're willing to accept new people. We did it
yeah.
throughout the years when these girls
Stacey,
came on the show. It's just, yeah, it's just that we don't get the right new ones sometimes. That's the problem. We're
I
willing
think
to
they
embrace new
also
people.
Atlanta gave people kind of a shock. They added like what 3 new people, 4 new people. They added Shamia,
Well,
Brittany.
Shimmy is not really new to me.
Well, yeah, full-time capacity, but they cleaned house essentially and brought in 3 or 4 brand new people, and it's almost like whenever you get a goldfish, they tell you to leave it in the water that you got it at the pet store, and then slowly like put it in. Like you can't. I liked the new New York, but I can see where it'd be like this isn't Real Housewives of New York. This is a
It's
completely
not. They
different
should have been
show.
called the Real Housewives of Brooklyn or something. Maybe it would have
Yeah,
been.
it's like this is too much too soon. You can't completely revamp, and so
Yeah.
I would like them to slowly start phasing out people and bring it like I'm still I love me some Crystal. I also think Crystal would have done a lot, but I know y'all hate it. I know y'all hate it, but I think Crystal would have done a lot better with people that were kind of her peers. People Crystal would have done great with Rachel Zoe and Amanda, and it's just like being the youngest one. Crystal was still in her
I
30s.
mean, no, she maybe Amanda, not Rachel's. Rachel's not her peer in age, nowhere near.
And that's true. And her peer in money. But it's like I
I mean,
don't know.
Kyle's her peer in money.
Mm,
Yeah,
is she
Kyle's definitely.
Mauricio's her peer in money, not Kyle.
Mm,
I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's I don't think that they're ever gonna make any real adjustments because people keep watching the show.
yeah. So,
It
well,
broke
it's
this
been
season
real.
premiere broke records for the in the last 3 years, which pisses me off in viewership. But we're still here. We're going to recap it. So, Denny, we're at 12 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining today. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. And we see everybody in the comments. Sean, we've got Chase at production in the back helping us. MJ. Who else do we got here? There, y'all are Sierra content, of course. Demisio Fade. It's good to see you in the comments as well.
Hey,
Carlos,
Demisio.
thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week. I think that I will be recapping Beverly Hills again, depending on how quickly Chase can heal up. Danny, you mentioned that you are filling in for Chase on Tuesday. What are you recapping Tuesday?
Mary,
Mary?
Monday or Tuesday, I forget which day. I'll get it right before the film, but Married to Medicine.
Yes, Married to Medicine. You guys like and subscribe because with the subscription comes notifications on when we go live, when we post new videos. And like we mentioned at the beginning, y'all go over to the Starry Awards, vote for Chase. This man works his butt off for you guys. As always, thank y'all for joining us as we recap these episodes. Thank you guys so much for being so engaged in the comments. We see them, we read them. I know that we didn't put a lot of them on the screen today. I haven't hosted in a minute, so I'm just trying to get my bearings back. Danny, thank you so much for joining. If you guys get
It's
cold
been
out
a
there, I'm looking
pleasure.
outside. There's a lot more white on the snow or on the ground right now, so it's about to get cold. Love you guys so much. Everybody in Texas, stay safe, stay warm. Everybody
All
else,
of that.
enjoy the regular ass temperatures that you guys are getting. We love you guys, and y'all have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah, yeah, ooh. I'm joking. I'm joking.